Okay, well, let's go over this research report I sent you. Actually, the first, I got a bunch of introduction videos. The first one you see on top of the table of contents there is really how to handle the sources I gave you. See, my belief is that, boy, the most important thing in finding what you need in life is getting leads. I mean, it's so hard to give you one phone number that really hits the nail on the head. It's sort of like getting, that date that turns into a marriage. Sometimes you got to go out and date a whole bunch of people before that happens. So, and then what you learn from those other sources, really is, leads you to that one thing that maybe I don't even know about yet. And that's the important thing. So, I mean, and what I'm trying to do with these research reports is, boy, the other thing, I mean, you go to Google and you're going to get 500 million things. So here you have 100 or two basic character and categories that nail it down so that the people there are very important about if they don't have it, who else does? And that's what to do. So let's go through this, what we have. Okay, the video now here is the first of two introduction videos, because the first one, this one, will tell you an overview of the government sources and nonprofit organizations. And this is where the help is. See, everything in here is not going to be .com. It's really about .org and .gov, because these are the people that give out things for free or for very low cost. You can't get it, are the real deals in life. The .coms, I feel, I mean, there's some .coms in here, and there are good ones, of course, but most of them are there just to get your money. So what I'm trying to do is educate you with the tools so you can deal with those .coms, because otherwise what happens, and it happens to me all the time, I get sucked up into the first sweet talking .com, and they get my money because I'm lazy. So I'm trying to do is arm you so you can deal with these people and know about your options. The whole thing in life is knowing about your options. So the first thing I cover is the local programs. This is your state, your county, your nonprofit organizations. This is what takes the most research for me because I got to dig down, because everybody calls these things different in every area of the country or whatever. So I try to categorize them there. And I think of all the stuff I have there, what you want to do is, number one, look for the counseling, the free counseling. I have the one here for HUD free counseling. There's a large database of all the ones that get grants. See, they get grants from the government to help you. Think through all this stuff and know about the major programs where you live. So it's important, to start with them first, because they give you an overview. They're free. You make an appointment or whatever, and talk to them, to get you through this process of buying a home, because there's too much to think about and talk about or whatever, and they could guide you through what's happening there. So any nonprofit means .org, 99% of the time, and the .gov, and there I have the HUD counseling offices too that do. And then I also have the local first-time homebuyer programs. Now, these are if you haven't had a home in 3 years, but there's exceptions for that. Maybe if you're divorced, and that's an exception. And some of these homebuyer programs don't even mean first time. So always check something. I mean, you never know. Things change. People have ways to make exceptions and everything like that. So it's don't guess. I mean, the biggest problem is guessing. Look, we all guessed we knew Donald Trump wouldn't win, but well, look what happened. So that's what we really learned, is not to do that. So all these local programs, and it's not only down payment money, it's unusual programs where you invest sweat equity in and get 0% interest. Man, that's what I care about. 0% interest means you get half the cost of the mortgage, because most of the mortgages, half of it is paying interest to the bank. So you get something like that, and that's serving. And then the programs, they're for one family houses, 1 to 4 family houses, depends on what the program is. And then they also have fix-up money in there. So you get a loan with 0% interest and fix up the money, all kinds of things. You don't even know how to ask for this stuff. That's why I wear these question mark suits. We don't know what to ask for. And then I have programs there for getting legal help, for paying your bills. You need emergency money, all those kinds of things, that may revolve around the housing issues. You need repairs. There's free repair programs. I mean, if you put in repair homes, you're going to get every contractor in the city who says they're the best in the world, and they want your money. So you have to investigate the free ones first. Now, a lot of them are income dependent, and that's okay. So check it out, see if your income, again, because they're flexible, always check. So even if you're in the ball game, unless you're making $500,000 a year, then don't bother. But if you're plus or minus 20% the numbers, check it out anyway, because you never know. Oh, we don't count this. We don't count that. And you may be eligible. And really, for housing programs, the income requirements go up to about $80,000-$90,000 as income. They consider you poor, and you get money to buy a house. I mean, it's crazy. That's why we don't even know the questions to ask. That's why I wear these question mark suits. So make sure you investigate. That's the important thing. There's programs there for almost anything you could think of about housing, and that's what I'm trying to. Now, here's what's very important, I think, is I have a section there called Free Research, Mentoring, and Counseling, and that is something that you will use, I think, for every part of your life. And that's what I'm trying to do. See, the problem is that the Google is so big and overwhelming, and it just messes you up, and you get around what I call the Google haystack. You can never find a needle in the Google haystack. So these are people who you talk to or specialize in getting the help you need, and know the best stuff in Google already. So you don't have to spend literally, people spend tens of hours, 20, 30, 40 hours Google around on that stuff. You know that. We've all done that. And so I'll show you how to make one phone call. Like here, the 211. Everybody has it. Almost about 95%, I think, of the country has that. That's where all the free stuff is. So why go to Google and get, like I'll show you there, where if you put in mortgage, you'll get 127 million websites for mortgage. If you go to the 211 website for your area, you'll get 2 dozen or whatever. That's it. And they're all free. Everybody there is giving you free stuff, free help, or even free mortgages. So that's why go and get 127 million when you get a handful in your area, and all they do is free. See, and that's it. But it's like that for anything. You need to fix up a home. You need to pay your utility bills. Anything. You need legal help. Daycare help. All this kind of thing is free. You need dental help. It's just an incredible source that we should know about. See, these are programs, like even you have financial problems. Well, there's counselors there that get grants from the government to help you for free. So why go pay for somebody? They're going to get money from you. What? They say, oh, no, we got free. Nah, if they're advertising, they got to get money somewhere or else they can't advertise. See, the people I'm showing you don't advertise because they're already getting grant money to pay for everything. So that's why they're pure in my mind in having your interest in heart and not just trying to make a buck or upsell you and everything. So that's why, to me, it's always start there first. That's the important thing, is to start there first. Okay, if it doesn't work, what the hell? But if you start the other thing first, you're going to get sucked in, because they know how to. They spend their life trying to get your money. That's all. They'll say anything trying to get your money. So that's important. So all those, they got one there. We got one for if you're making, say you're a freelancer, you want to make money out of your home somehow. Free consulting help on anything to do with business. How do you write off your home? How do you do this? Whatever. That's all free. And there's a source there in your area. These are local people for all these programs that get that. If you're a vet, there's there's so many vet programs now. Okay, this is a source of people who do that research for you, and they don't charge you like I do. So that's important to know about. And that's why, to me, it's a wonderful tool. Your library. How many people don't forget we have a library? And you could call ask a librarian. They have databases that you can't get anywhere else. Do you realize they have a database of 140,000 grant programs? That's right. And these are from foundations, and these foundations are not on the internet. Only 5% of these people have websites that you'll find. So you're never going to find them. But unless you buy the professional database, which costs $1,000, $2,000, or you know about your library. They'll train you how to do it and things like that. Man, what could be better than that? I mean, it's phenomenal to me, that's it. So all this stuff takes effort. I mean, that's the key to all this stuff. You're not going to make a phone call and get a check in the mail, but you got to narrow it down. That's what I do. And then you have to follow through and take the work that's required to do that. All of life is work. But that's why you pick the things that are really important. Housing is important. Okay, let's dig into this and see, the best deal, we could get. So we got state programs. Your state is loaded with programs. Yeah. Then I got federal programs, and check each one of those. That's what life is about. It is checking the programs. I mean, there are states that give you like $50,000 because you have trouble paying your mortgage. Who would have thought to ask about that? So if you're back mortgage, other states will have things like, oh, well, here, your mortgage costs too much, so what we'll do is give you $50,000 and get your mortgage down. So you have a $200,000 mortgage, well, we'll bring it down to $150,000. No sweat from you. Wow. Who would have thought to ask for that? Unless you have a rich uncle. Well, you do. It's Uncle Sam. And that's why you see people like Trump and the rich people, they all use the hell out of these programs. That's why they all want to be in Washington to create more for themselves. But there's programs there for the average person. And that's what I'm trying to do, is make sure that everybody knows about this stuff that's available. God, I mean, there's programs, depending on your career. Look at the federal section. You get houses half price, or here you got to redo your mortgage. I mean, because mortgage changes. There's an 800 number you could call about, hey, okay, what's the best government mortgage for me because I have trouble paying it. So that's an 800 number you could call, and you don't have to call. So if you look you go to your bank and things like that. I mean, got a bank, and typically, you go in for a mortgage to the banker, and they say, well, you don't make enough money. Yeah, I can't give you a mortgage. These programs say, you make too much money. So it's the opposite program. That's what the programs are for. See, that's why they don't know about them. They don't advertise or whatever. So it's important to go through the list, check it twice, start with a counselor or whatever to do, then come back and look at this list and go over, tick off all the sources and investigate, give a shot, give an email or whatever. Hey, I'm doing this. What do you think? Don't say you're looking for grants, because that scares a lot of bureaucrats, because they don't have grants. What they have is loans you don't have to pay back. Well, hey, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? But if you call up and ask for a grant, they're looking down their list of programs. Oh, we don't have any. But if someone's giving you $25,000 and they call it a loan, but you don't have to pay it back, what the hell? I'll take 2 of those, please. So that's important. So that's why I do these custom reports, because to narrow it down for you, you go on Google and you'll take 20, 30 hours trying to find this stuff. And what I do now, the other video will tell you about, I think, is becoming the most important source of money and help to do anything you want in this life, including money for housing. And that's what's going on the internet with crowdfunding, peer-to-peer, and the shared economy. So watch that other video too, because it's very important, I think, for all of us to know about what's happening in life and how lives are changing. And the way we did things 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 1 year ago doesn't work anymore. So you have to learn about the new things. The old stuff doesn't go away overnight, so it's still there. But now you have 2 sources, to me, of ways to get extra funding that is really democratic for everybody, and actually the internet makes it more democratic, on these kind of sites. And that's federal programs, county programs, and nonprofit organizations, and state. And then the other thing is what's happening on the internet, and that includes crowdfunding, shared economy, and peer-to-peer. And know that, because that's what's democratizing things so much more now. I mean, you get money there. You don't even need a business plan. You don't need an income statement, no credit check, nothing. Wow. And that's to buy a house even. So that's it. You want to be an investor? I mean, right, you get $1 million there because it's easy to find partners now, that are investors instead of, having to belong to a fancy country club to find investors. No, you don't. They've made it so easy now on the internet for anybody to do this. So you have a good idea. That's all you need. It's a good idea. And an hour or two of formulating it and putting it on the internet and see what happens because it costs you nothing to try. And that's the important thing, is trying and learning and whatever. It's like learning to walk. Man, you got to fall down 100 times first before you figure those legs out, right? So we all do when we want to do something new. Okay, so let me know you got any more questions, and I'd be happy to do any kind of reports. Don't forget, we're here to do custom reports, so you don't have to do all that research. So let us know if we could help.